Welcome back to another exciting edition of the Renatus J.A.M. I'm Jay Stark, and joining me today is
Matt Snyder.
Mr. Matt Snyder. Matt, how's it going today, man?
I should bring this. I'm doing fantastic. How are you doing?
We've been doing the podcast this long, and you still don't know where to keep the microphone?
No, I move around, man.
So you're a mover and a shaker.
I'm
I
a
like
mover
it.
and a shaker.
Mover and
Yeah.
a shaker. Nice.
Yep.
Well, the audience at large can probably hear right now that we have a few voices that have joined us in studio. So today we have brought in the Renatus Customer Advocacy team. So go ahead and introduce yourselves, starting from my left, I guess. Go ahead.
My name's John.
Very good, John. And what's your title?
I am one of the customer advocacy team
Members. People. Personages.
All right. Go ahead.
I'm Tara, and I'm the customer advocacy team lead.
There you go. All right. And last but not least,
Well, I might be least because I am the shortest, but
last and shortest.
but I am also part of the customer advocacy team.
Nice.
Audrey is my name. So
Audrey.
hello to everyone.
And customer advocacy is your game. I like it.
You know it.
Yep.
All right.
So leave a voicemail if you're calling us.
Right. If somebody's calling right now, you know where the team is.
If someone's answering right now, we have a bigger problem.
Yeah, right?
That reminds me of that commercial, you know. Do you remember that commercial back in the day that used to say, "Do you know where your kids are?
Oh, yeah.
Do you know where your
Yeah.
customer advocacy team is?"
Right?
Well, I do. They're all in studio with us right now. So, Tara, you're the customer advocacy team lead.
Yes.
And with that title comes prestige and accolades. So tell us a little bit, how did you first get introduced to Renatus?
Yes. So my dear friend Chrissy, who is the quality manager, she just told me about this place, and after she'd worked at Intermountain for years and years, and I was like, okay, I've never heard of that place, but good luck.
Gotcha.
And then 6 months later, I'm here. So she
Yeah, feel free to eat the mic, you know. Get ready.
Okay.
There you go.
Oh yeah. There we
Yeah,
go.
there you go.
So yeah, so 6 months later, she told me about a job here, and I applied and was hired on the spot.
On this.
I'm that good.
How many times has that happened? I don't think that's happened very many times. So
I tell you what, I have an eye for talent. That's what it is.
yeah. It's true.
Oh,
I mean,
man.
I'm here.
There you
right?
go. So Intermountain Healthcare is one of the biggest private organizations in the state of Utah.
Mhm.
So that's the company that you came from. And how long have you been here now?
A little over 4 years.
Cool.
Mhm.
Little over 4 years. So tell me about your perspective on where you've seen Renatus, where Renatus was, and where Renatus is going.
So oh my gosh, there's been so much growth since I've been here. Not just the internal team, you know, because we work off a skeleton
Right.
crew, so
Right.
we all have many things that we all do. I mean, it's the most exciting thing is probably the newest education package that we've just released, Profits. It's awesome. With that, the company's going international, which is huge. So, and I know we've been talking about that for kind of under the rug for forever, for years now since I started. So it's here now. So it's awesome.
Right on.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, Audrey and John, I'll come to you next. I promise we'll talk.
Okay.
All right. So, Audrey, you're the newest member of the team.
That's right.
How long have you been here?
I've been here since March 2nd,
March 2nd of 2020.
2020.
So you
Yeah.
came on board right as we were ramping up for the national
That's what I was just gonna
conference.
say. Right
true.
before nationals. Yeah.
Yeah, someone made the comment to me when we get back to normal, and I said, "What are you talking about? This is my normal."
Yeah. Right. that's a good thing. You've been
It's been
conditioned.
great.
Yeah.
It's been great. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, you came on just in time to enjoy the many benefits of the business center, to see that then get sunsetted, see the
Yeah.
release of Helios, see the national conference. You kind of got the full Monty since
Oh,
you've been here.
yeah.
You know?
It's true.
Come quick.
You guys just gave it all to me all at once. It's been great.
You're welcome. So, Audrey, tell me a little bit about how you found Renatus.
Well, my good friend Jay Stark and his beautiful wife Whitney. I'm actually great friends with Whitney, and
Not Jay.
Not you, no.
You heard
No.
that, right? I mean,
She didn't say she's friends with me either. I mean,
Oh.
Yeah.
Friends
You're
with
my
Jay as
friend.
well. But Whitney and I
I'm
have a
friends with
special
Whitney, too.
connection. And actually, I had known about Renatus because of our friendship, and had just seen how happy you are in what you do, and always was very impressed with that. I had been working for another company and actually came across you guys at a basketball game.
That's right. The only basketball game I've attended, like my daughter's entire
Really?
cheer career.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So we have daughters that cheered for separate high schools. And I was there with my daughter who was cheering at that game. And we went in, I actually had gone out at halftime. And as I looked through the doors, I saw the two of you sitting there and just thought, I got to go say hi to my friends. Went over and was just speaking with Whitney, and she made the comment, how are things going? And we had the conversation, and I said, I think I'm ready to make a change. And she said, work for Jay. And that's where it all began.
Wow.
That's how it all started. It just occurred to me that the reason why we were both at that game is because our kids' schools were competing against each other.
Correct.
Who won? Remind me.
Yeah.
Not me. Anyway, the girls' team at Clearfield is phenomenal. The boys'
I
team
remember I was
not.
actually at that game. Both
That's
of
true.
them.
You were there too.
I was there. Yeah, I didn't get to really watch much of the game because I brought my son and I chased him around this entire school property,
So you
basically
didn't
the
see
whole
the
time.
game.
I saw the end of the girls' game, which was intense.
It was seriously intense.
and then I missed most of the boys playing, but
You didn't
yeah, it
miss
was,
much.
Yeah, right. So
You
I
missed the
shouldn't
winning
say that.
shot.
If there are any Clearfield Falcons out there, go Falcons, especially the girls' teams. Anyway, so I forgot that you were there though. So you were totally there when Audrey came in as well.
yeah, I think we just missed. I think I was chasing Gray around when she walked
Yeah.
up to you or something. But
Makes sense.
yeah, makes sense because that was the whole time.
Right.
That's just what I do.
Yeah.
So.
Like father, like son. That kid is. He's
He
got
can't.
so
He's a
much
mover and a
energy.
shaker, man.
He is.
Yes, he
He's
is.
a mover and a
He
shaker.
is,
All
yeah.
right. So Mr. Hernandez,
Yes.
John with no H. So let's talk a little bit about how you were exposed to Renatus for the first time. And how long have you been here now?
Almost as long as Tara, about 8 months.
That's not almost as long as Tara.
I know. Wasn't the greatest in high school in math.
And thank you for now being part of our team.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
Yes.
we don't require math here.
High
so.
school math and Renatus math are different. I like Renatus math.
All right. I'll give you that one.
I thought they were the same. We doing different math over here?
Don't think too hard about it. This is going to go down a road we don't want to explore.
So the way I got introduced into Renatus was actually once again by Jay, and it was we were attending we both attend the same ward or church, and so my mother-in-law was actually sent me a message saying, hey, someone in our ward, Jay Stark, he's looking for a bilingual customer service agent or advocate. And so she goes, go talk to him, see if he's, if it's still open. So I did. I applied. I came in for an interview. I actually had an interview with Jay and Tara. And then speaking with Jay, I had a second interview. And then it was, I guess, the way he said it was determined that they looked at their schedule and then kind of just was able to fulfill the role from within the company. And that he would keep me updated for any future.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, keep me updated for any future opportunities. And so I think it was maybe 4 or 5 months passed by, and I was just kind of looking for something else. I was, my wife and I were trying to have another kid, and we were wanting to get a place that had benefits and stuff. And I just messaged Jay out of the blue and was just like, hey, just wanting to see if you have any openings. And Jay was just like, it just so happens I just got notice from my other customer advocate that he's actually going to be leaving here shortly. So come in for an interview, and the rest was history. And that's how we did. And
that's right.
shortly thereafter, we found out we were having another kid. So
Hey, congratulations.
so now we're a little under 3 weeks away.
Yeah.
So
Oh, wow. So if you guys don't hear from John on the phones in the next little while, you know why.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So, John, tell me, you've been with the company 8 months now.
Correct.
which means that you obviously got the full view of the business center. So tell me, how has the transition between the business center and Helios improved, the experiences that you see, the customer experiences?
I think it's improved as far as the understanding of it and I always have trouble with the fluidity of this.
Okay. So the user experience.
Exactly.
Okay.
A lot of times, just in the time that I was here, when we still had the business center, a lot of people had a lot more questions of how to navigate, how to do things, versus Helios. Everything was more fluid. They were able to understand how things worked because of the business center, and then I guess the pre-Helios that they
No, that's not pre-Helios. That was Helios. There's Helios, and then we went through a oh man, give me the word here. Say it again. Transition.
No.
It's a release. You have a feature release. That's what it is.
It's a release.
We had a feature release
yeah.
that just enabled. Anyway.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
An update. It was like version
An
1.
upgrade.
Now we're like version 1.001.
001.
Yeah, right. Like half. I don't know, like how that all works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's my take on it, and
All
just
right.
even me learning it, like I caught on fairly quickly to the business center when I was being trained. But when Helios, when we went live with Helios, just before nationals, it was super quick moving. I understood what needed to be done, and I was able to help other people understand where to access certain things. And
Gotcha.
so
So you are bilingual.
yes, or
Good.
C.
See. I like it.
enchiladas.
That's doesn't seem like that's really bilingual. It seems like Matt would be bilingual at that point too. Then.
Yeah, I know the whole Taco Bell menu, man. I know.
We're 100% certified.
I
then.
speak a lot of Española.
So how have the interactions been with people that are Spanish speaking for you? Because they call in and they request you quite a bit. So how has that been, being able to interact with those individuals?
It's interesting because before 2012, I wasn't really bilingual. I was bilingual in the sense of I knew some phrases and stuff because my grandmother, who had raised me, she spoke Spanish, and so that's what I understood as Spanish.
So you knew how to yell at yourself in Spanish.
Exactly.
You knew all the swear words.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
The words that
Yeah.
we don't want to say.
Yeah.
But then I served a mission for my church, for the Church of Jesus Christ Latter-day Saints, and I was called to do Spanish-speaking missionary work, and so I learned a lot of it on my mission in El Paso. And so afterwards, when I came back in 2015, that's when I got my first actual job in customer service, doing a bilingual part. So it actually helped me further my Spanish. And it's like I said, it's interesting because you think if you don't speak another language, you kind of just know what you're doing and what to say and how to say it and just how to articulate it. But when you're dealing with a Spanish or even just any other language, you got to really get your mindset to understand so you can articulate what you're trying to say, because not everything has a translation in Spanish or in any other language.
Right.
So you got to think about it. And it's interesting to see Renatus itself be a big impact in just English speaking, but also to see the impact that it has in the Spanish speaking realms as well.
Yeah.
And to see how well it's flourishing there.
Awesome. Right on. So, okay, Tara, I'm going to transition over to you for a second. So you've been here a long time now, for just over 4 years, which means that you have seen 3 or 4 nationals now.
I started right after nationals.
Right after
2016,
nationals?
So, yeah.
Huh.
So 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that right?
That would be 4.
That would be 4.
That'd be 4. I'm sitting here going,
Yeah,
wait a
because
second, right after
2017,
16, 17,
2018,
18, 19.
2019, 2020.
Yeah, I don't know math.
See, this is what I'm
I know
saying.
Renatus
Renatus math
Yeah.
is
It's
different
not-
from
it
normal
is.
math.
Apparently.
Oh, we're going to start this whole trend on what Renatus
I know,
math
right?
is and isn't.
I know what Renata's dates are. Basically, everything's October 19th. If
There
you
you
don't
go.
get that reference, you
There
haven't
you
been
go.
around long enough.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Well, never mind. I'm not going to go there.
it's a rabbit
right.
hole we don't want to go down. Yeah.
So Tara, tell me how you have been around several different national conferences now, 4. And this last one was a broadcast edition versus the live edition. How were the two different?
Well, the biggest difference was not getting all of the hugs and interaction with all of the people.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So that it was, I mean, different in every way, but so successful. I mean, so much positive feedback, even, you know, from people just being able to view at home in their pajamas.
So what you're really trying to say is, and this is for everybody out in Facebook land, send Tara virtual hugs, even in your pajamas. Send her a hug right now.
Yeah.
That's what she needs.
Yes.
All right. Sorry, keep going. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No,
I
so
did mean to
that-
interrupt. I didn't mean to. Never mind.
Yeah, so that
You meant what you were doing.
that was the biggest thing.
Yeah.
And then the awards, of course, like, you know, distributing those out, which I'm still working on, everyone.
Oh, see, I was going to ask you that question. So what awards have you sent out so far?
So all of the
Looks like a lot.
a lot, yeah.
Or those boxes, are they
Those
full?
boxes,
Are they
yes.
full over there?
So,
Alright.
so if you live close to, so we selected certain like team leaders in
Okay.
states that were mailing like a big box of a bunch of everything too. So, the like personal awards and stuff, those will be going out within the week.
Okay.
So if you don't live within like an hour and a half of that team lead, then I've personally already mailed out your award to you.
All right. So do the team leads know that they're going to be receiving these cases and cases of awards?
Pallets
That's
full.
Pallets,
my, on my
truckloads.
to-do list. They
Semi-trucks.
actually- I have my email all queued up, and I
All
was
right.
going to email all of them.
All right. You may want to let
Check
them
your
know.
email.
So who all is going to be a hub?
So Scott and Nancy are for Chicago, and then
Just keep it there you go. Just right in there.
There we go. Okay, eat it.
Okay? Eat the mic.
Okay. So Scott and Nancy for Chicago,
Okay?
and Umair for Virginia.
Okay?
Debbie Worthington and Jim Holmes for Georgia.
Hot Lana.
And then James Lease for Northern California.
Okay?
Oh my gosh, I can't think of them all right.
Is our favorite maniac on the list?
Who would that be? I should know.
Alvin Lamb.
Oh yeah.
Dude, it's almost like we rehearsed that.
I know, right? No.
I feel like I should know that. Love
You know who we should have on?
Who's that?
Alvin Lamb.
You think we should have Alvin Lamb on here?
Dear everyone, pressure Alvin Lamb.
Not pressure, encourage.
pressure him.
Encourage our favorite maniac. The reason why I call him a maniac is because he's from Maine. And that's what they
Yeah.
call themselves.
Yeah.
And you have to be a maniac to live in Maine because it gets so cold. Oh my goodness.
It's way up there to everybody else. So yeah.
Oh man. All right. Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have these cases out of here by when?
Within 1 week's time.
1 week's
Hopefully
time.
by Friday this week.
Friday of this week. All right, we're gonna hold her to it. Friday of this week.
Yes, please hold me to it.
Everything needs to be out of here.
Okay.
If
Yeah,
not,
I-
bring
It will
us
be done.
donuts.
Nah. I want her to get this. I don't want donuts. I want the awards gone. All of our people want the awards. You know what?
know.
I think everybody who's on the line who's watching this, if you are looking forward to getting your award, your T-shirt, the journal, your 3-star pin, any of those fun things, you should leave a comment below. Leave a comment and let Tara know just how excited you are to receive your national swag.
Buddy. Yeah. A lot of validators.
Yeah, buddy.
They're eager.
Validators,
Just
our
waiting for it.
relators.
Yeah.
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 Yeah,
So
the
it's good.
executives are looking forward to hearing the systems that are in place.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the intellectuals just want to know.
Freaking nerds.
Don't.
I'm
You
one.
can't.
I'm one, so I can call everybody that. See,
Are you really?
it's why. Yeah, it's why I can make fun of Mormons too. So
there
cool.
you go. All right, moving on. So Audrey, let me ask you this question. So the virtual nationals has been the only thing that you've really experienced as far as our big brouhaha. So tell me, how do the Renatus customers differ from other customers that you've experienced in other professions at other companies? And I don't need you to throw anyone under the bus. Just
Oh no, not at all. And I really don't have any need to. I've been in customer service almost all my life. I've always worked in that sort of a capacity, and I love working with the Renatus people. They really are. When they call in, they're looking for a solution because they are looking for the better, and so it's wonderful to work with people that when they're calling in, they're wanting a solution to better the situation.
yeah.
It's great. I've been very impressed with them. And
So what you're really trying to say is that Renatus has the best customers.
oh,
I think so.
by far. Yeah,
I
and
think
I've
so.
worked in a lot of different, industries.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been great.
And ours are the best.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I've done the same.
Renatus
I've been all
rocks,
over
right?
doing sales, customer service, and working phones. And yeah, Renatus is the best by far. So
Absolutely.
Nice.
yeah, the people just
So are we getting some pretty awesome comments? Are you seeing some pretty people all fired up and
yes.
excited? And
Lisa says I want mine. 3-star.
well, it's coming your way, Lisa.
It's headed.
It's coming
It's
your
headed
way
there.
It'll be in the mail this Friday.
Yep.
All right. So Audrey, tell me just a little bit more about your experience. I know when you and I first talked, when we sat down and had our initial interview, I told you, I said, hey, there's nothing quite like the Renatus family. There's nothing quite like seeing just how our people pull together, serve, help, support one another. Tell me a little bit about, have you had any experiences where you just saw somebody going above and beyond, going out of their way, and you don't need to name names, where somebody was truly just exceeding expectations in regards to helping their customer to get onboarded with Renatus or to get taken care of inside of Renatus?
Well, it's really hard to pin that down because on a daily basis, I see things where people are calling in for their customer and saying, how can we get this for this person? How can I help them to move along? And they need this access for this. That's everyone is working together, and not only for their own customer. I also have some great folks that will call in and say, hey, I had somebody contact me and they have some interest, but they're protected to someone else. Will you please look into that and make sure that their person knows that they have interest? I mean, it is all about working together, and I love the word family. I'll tell you, it's the first time I heard it when I came to Renatus, but it's perfect because
Nice.
everyone is helping everyone. It's really great.
Did we make that term up? Is that a thing that
Oh, no.
I had
don't-
never heard it before here either? So that's I just wonder. No?
You know what? Bob always likes to say, hey, I'll give you credit for it the first 2 times I say it, then the 3rd time it's mine.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we made that up.
Probably.
That was totally
Yeah.
ours.
Yeah.
I did this one time, and I was like, no, I don't think that Renatus was the origin of that word. However, I do think that it perfectly applies.
I do too. I've always been impressed with people going way out of their way, even to help, to help people that they're not going to get any kind of financial gain off of, to
Right.
just get them set up or at least get the 5-star aware of things or up to speed. And so that's really cool. Yeah.
You know, I kind of wish that every once in a while, some of our people could join us on the pack call,
Yeah.
just
no
to
kidding.
listen to the tone of the conversation that the pack has with Bob, because it's always about helping the individual. It's
Yeah.
not about trying to make more money. It's all about making sure that people are taken care of, that people understand what's coming and why, and are able to have that vision moving forward. How do we keep people focused on creating success for themselves?
It is. Yeah, I wish, the pack call and just there's some closed door conversations. It's like, man, if people could hear this, but, obviously there's whatever,
I remember
new releases or stuff coming out you can't talk about, but like, yeah.
I remember one time I was talking with the pack, and Bob made a statement, and I can't remember exactly what it was, but I remember I just stopped the conversation and I said, hey, I want you guys to take a second and realize what Bob just said. Because what Bob said was the company is going to cover this cost, this downside for whatever reason, and is going to empower the customer, each one of you right here in this circle. And that is and it became so normal. It became so normal that the pack I wanted to just take a second to appreciate that
Right.
with the pack. I remember
Yeah.
it's just such a cool thing. Bob's awesome. Renatus is awesome.
Absolutely. Was it when the national was going to be held in here and we decided to refund the partial tickets?
That may have been it. I don't remember exactly, but
Yeah. Yep.
yeah, just so awesome. Well, Renatus really does rock, and a lot of that has to do with you three right here.
Absolutely.
You guys are the voice of the company. You know, you're the ones who are interacting with the customers on a regular basis. You're sharing, you're helping, supporting, assisting, and that's the reason why we call you the customer advocacy team, because you guys are advocates. You're always advocating for the customer, and that's awesome. That's really awesome.
Thank you.
So,
Yeah, you guys are Renatus. I think when people call in, that's it. They talk to you three, not me sometimes. but you know what I mean. Like they talk to you three, and
I took some phone calls this year.
That's right, you did.
I did.
You did.
All by myself.
All by his lonesome. I mean, I had to come over and help him. No, I'm just
Well,
kidding.
yeah,
I didn't.
but
No. Yeah. So thank you for being the face of Renatus, or the
Yeah,
voice of Renatus, I should
voice.
say. Yeah.
the voice.
I think
Thank
But
you.
now you're the face. These cameras are live.
Nah, you know what? I've been told my entire life I have the perfect face for radio. So you guys are the voice of Renatus. You guys are the ones who keep our customer connected to Renatus. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Tara, any last remarks that you want to share with the Renatus family? I know that out of all of our customer advocates, you're the one who's probably interacted with our people the most. More of our people have probably talked with you, have been influenced by you, received an email from you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anything you want to share to everyone?
Just thank you. Thank you for being so kind when you call, patient with us, especially with this new system. And, we're learning it too. So just thank you. Thank you. You all are great.
Awesome.
Yep. And if I've offended any of you in any way, please send your suggestions and comments and emails to john.hernandez@myrenatus.com. I'm just kidding.
Matt,
I mean, you can
you're
send
not-
all your love to John.
I'll make sure to forward them to you.
There we go.
There's a
There we
bunch in the
go.
LDS community that are mad at me now, I'm sure. So
All right. Well, I'm going to say that we're going to call that a wrap before we get too much further down this rabbit hole. It's pretty amazing the opportunity that each one of us has in front of us because of what Renatus is, because of what Bob has created, and then what is supported by the internal team. You guys are obviously a huge part of that, and each one of us plays a role in helping to move the vision of Renatus forward. And so that's why I say with such confidence that Renatus rocks, because of the people that are associated with it. That comes from Mr. Snyder to the internal team, as well as our family at large. I love what Renatus is, because everyone is about building success, about creating opportunity for other people, and really helping other people to not only rise up, but to continue forward in their lives, in their ambitions.
I think everybody's looking to lift each other. And I like the analogy of, tallest building. You can get the tallest building by either tearing everybody else's down or building your own up. But I feel like everybody is looking to help others build their building, and everybody's rising, the rising tide. So it raises all ships. It's cool.
There you go.
It's fun to see.
And that's what's happening in Renatus right now. So this week we've experienced the release of the new comp plan.
Yep.
And we have so many more exciting developments that are coming in the next couple of weeks. So this week started a new profits segments that we're doing on the Founders Webinar, where we're going to highlight each one of the profits instructors over the next 7 weeks on the Founders Webinar. So you guys should definitely tune in and make sure that you're part of that. But it's just awesome. It's exciting what we get to do every single day, isn't it, Matthew?
It sure is.
Booyah.
Sure
Well,
is.
on behalf of myself, Mr. Matt Snyder, thank you, Mr. Aaron Peterson, for being our producer once again and looking phenomenal while you're doing it. And then just one more time to the customer advocacy team, you guys rock. Because you rock, Renatus rocks. Thank you, everyone. We'll catch you next week.
Thanks, guys.
Yep.